The two groups merged and established the Metropolitan Railway Company in August 1854. The company's plan was to construct an underground railway line from Great Western Railway's GWR station at Paddington to the edge of the city at Fulton Street, a distance of almost 5 kilometers. The organization had difficulty in raising the funding for such a radical and expensive scheme, not least because of the critical articles printed by the press. Objectors argued that the tunnels would collapse under the weight of traffic overhead. Buildings would be shaken and the passengers would be poisoned by the emissions from the train engines. However, Bells and his partners persisted. The GWR, aware that the new line would finally enable them to run trains into the heart of the city, invested almost £250 in the scheme. Eventually, over a 5-year period, £1 million was raised. The chosen route ran beneath existing main roads to minimize the expense of demolishing buildings. Originally scheduled to be completed in 21 months, the construction of the underground line took 3 years. It was built just below street level using a technique known as cut-and over. A trench about 10 meters wide and 6 meters deep was dug, and the sides temporarily held up with timber beams. Brick walls were then constructed, and finally a brick arch was added to create a tunnel. A 2-meter deep layer of soil was laid on the top of the tunnel and the road above rebuilt. The Metropolitan line, which opened on January 10, 1963, was the world's first underground railway. On its first day, almost 40,000 passengers were carried between Paddington and Farringdon, a journey taking about 80 meters. By the end of the Metropolitan's first year of operation, 9.5 million journeys had been made. Even as the Metropolitan began operation, the first extensions to the line were being authorized. They were built over the next 5 years, reaching Moorgate in the east of London and Hammersmith in the west. The original plan was to pull the trains with steam locomotives, using firebricks in the boilers to provide steam, but these engines were never introduced. Instead, the line used specially designed locomotives that were fitted with water tanks in which steam could be condensed. However, smoke and fumes remained a problem, even though ventilation shafts were added to the tunnels.